What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you thought Taylor Swift had already conquered every possible corner of the entertainment industry, think again. This week's bombshell podcast appearance with Travis Kelce has revealed something massive, and it's not just about their relationship. We're talking about a calculated power move that's about to make both of them hysterically famous at new level. And honestly, it might be exactly what they planned all along. Before we dive into the video for today, make sure you smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, and you will receive an unexpected good news today. Now let's ride the gist. Today we're breaking down Swift's just announced 12th album, The Life of a Showgirl, the strategic genius behind her New Heights podcast appearance, and why this couple is about to become absolutely unavoidable. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see their relationship in a completely different light. Let's start with what happened this week. Taylor Swift appeared on New Heights. That's Travis and Jason Kelce's podcast. And across 2 hours of conversation, we got some seriously revealing insights. Sure, we learned she's obsessed with sourdough and lurks on baking blogs, which is honestly relatable content right there. We found out the couple spent their summer caring for her 73-year-old father Scott after his quintuple heart bypass surgery, showing us a more intimate, family-oriented side. But here's where it gets interesting from a business perspective. Swift taught Kelce how to avoid internalizing speculation about their relationship. Think about that for a second. She's literally coaching him on media strategy and public perception management. This isn't just couple goals. This is strategic partnership goals. The most surprising revelation? Until the record-breaking Eras tour, Swift had never allowed myself to say, "You've arrived. You've made it." This is someone who's won the Grammy for Album of the Year 4 times, broken countless records, and successfully executed one of the most brilliant business moves in music history with her re-recording project. But Eras was different. It became the first $2 billion tour in history, and that's when she finally felt like she'd made it. But here's the thing, Swift evidently isn't ready to let that feeling go. Just 18 months after her last album and 10 months after Eras concluded, she's announcing The Life of a Showgirl. The woman is apparently congenitally incapable of rest, and she's got a lot to process about her unprecedented success. Now, let's talk about why this album announcement is pure strategic genius. Industry newsletter Record of the Day already led with tongue-in-cheek congratulations to everyone at EMI and Taylor Swift on her latest #1 album. The success is literally a foregone conclusion. Last year's A Tortured Poets Department became the first album to pass 1 billion streams in its first week, reaching 1.76 billion streams. Swift is operating on an unfathomable scale here. She's one of the last monocultural pop stars, and honestly, she probably could have toured Eras for 5 years and still sold out every night. But here's what makes this interesting. Swift seemed surprisingly self-aware about TTPD's limitations during the podcast. She called it too wordy, too long, too downbeat. That album was about catharsis, mess, and rawness, following what was apparently a pretty humiliating situation with Matty Healy from the 1975. For Showgirl, she's craving focus and discipline. Just 12 songs go behind the scenes of her Era's life, with melodies that were so infectious you're almost angry. She even made the surprisingly candid admission, "Keeping the bar really high is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time." She recorded this album with Swedish producers Max Martin and Shellback in Stockholm during the European leg of Eras. These are the same producers behind her biggest pop smashes, Style, 22, Blank Space. Her first album without them, 2019's Lover, was seen as ending her imperial pop period. Since then, her music got more muted and experimental, working with Jack Antonoff and Aaron Dessner from The National. But here's where Swift's strategic mind really shows. She's clearly been monitoring the cultural landscape, and she's noticed that her brand of hermetically sealed grown-up pop has been losing ground to artists like Chappell Roan, Sabrina Carpenter, and Charlie XCX. These artists are seizing culture center with rowdier, less inhibited hits than Swift has made in years. As one industry publicist put, "I don't think she can get ahead of those artists because she's such a millennial pop star. She can't create trends like those younger artists because they have a lot less to lose." There's definitely a sense that Swift is catching up rather than leading, that she's clocked the criticisms and read the room. Remember the backlash over TTPD's 19 physical variants? People accuse her of exploiting fans and damaging the environment. For Showgirl, she's keeping it to a more industry standard for variants. She's adapting, learning, evolving her strategy. Swift described her recent experimental phase as her art school years, and now she's framing Showgirl as an attempt to recapture the kind of musical ubiquity where kids yell your lyrics at birthday parties. She literally said, "My business is making music and taking care of my fans, and I have ways of monitoring what they want from me and how best to entertain them, which is my job." Think of Eras as a 149-night focus group. Now let's talk about Travis Kelce, because this guy is not just along for the ride. He's actively building his own empire alongside Swift's. The New Heights podcast appearance wasn't just a cute relationship moment. It was a calculated brand-building exercise. Think about their origin story. Kelce tried to meet Swift after an Eras show failed, then told his podcast listeners he wanted to meet her. She was intrigued and took him up on it. That's not just romantic. That's content creation gold. And it's no coincidence that Kelce's GQ cover landed the same week as Swift's podcast appearance. The podcast episode crashed when it premiered, and within 24 hours it had 13 million YouTube views, not counting other platforms. The advertising value is absolutely massive, especially with anticipation of future Swift revelations. Here's what's really smart. Kelce is 35 and rumored to be retiring after the season, his 13th year, which happens to be Swift's lucky number. He's literally future-proofing his post-football career. He even admitted to GQ that he'd taken his eye off the ball because he was chasing other opportunities. His stats have been underwhelming in his past 2 seasons, but his off-field opportunities are exploding, as that same industry publicist noted. It's a Stephen Bartlett Diary of a CEO move. It's future-proofing their lives. He can't be a football player forever. She can't be a pop star forever. It makes them a unit. Look at how it worked for the Beckhams. What's fascinating is watching these two craft their public images in real time. After Swift's 2015-16 backlash with the Kanye West and Kim Kardashian situation, she successfully rebooted as a dedicated, literary songwriter fighting for artist rights. Now Kelce's image is getting shaped from 2 years of dating Swift, and they're clearly conscious of this process. Kelce told GQ he had become way more strategic in understanding what I'm portraying to people. And as that publicist noted, no man has ever said those words. This is pillow talk in a business-minded household. Kelce's positioning himself as the open-hearted romantic who's not intimidated by Swift celebrity. Unlike her previous 6-year relationship with Joe Alwyn, which happened almost entirely in private, this relationship is playing out in public in carefully controlled ways. The sweet dynamic on the podcast, 2 beefy football players being excited and supportive of a pop star, is absolutely strategic. They're even playing with memes about Kelce's intelligence. When Swift called folklore esoteric, he responded with, "It's so hot" when she says big words. That's smart positioning, making Kelce lovable and non-threatening while subtly addressing criticism. Swift described him as a vibe booster in everyone's life, like a human exclamation point. The implication? He could pep up your sentences if you let him into your heart. Kelce's post-football business is literally being everyone's boyfriend, not just Swift's. Here's where it gets politically interesting. Kelce has family ties to Trump supporters, but that actually might not hurt him. Swift endorsed Kamala Harris, but having Kelce in the picture gives her an interesting angle. She becomes a left-wing voice in these rooms, as one publicist put it. It's a win-win positioning that broadens both their appeal. The couple is clearly operating from a place of absolute confidence. As Swift sings on The Alchemy from TTPD about their relationship, "I'm making a comeback to where I belong. Ditch the clowns, get the crown. Baby, I'm the one to beat. These blokes warm the benches. We've been on a winning streak." That winning streak is absolutely assured. Next year marks the 20th anniversary of Swift's debut album, and she'll inevitably release the re-recording. Showgirl's successor will be her 13th album, hugely significant in her numerical mythology. There are rumors of an Eras documentary to complement the concert movie, extending that IP even further. Before Swift drops a single note of new music, Before Kelce even touches grass next season, they're already the coming season's reigning champions. This isn't just a relationship. It's a strategic empire being built in real time, and we're all witnessing the blueprint. What do you think about Swift and Kelce's strategic partnership? Are you excited for the life of a showgirl? Or do you think Swift should take a break? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button if this breakdown helped you see their relationship in a new light. Subscribe for more deep dives into the business of entertainment. And I'll see you in the next one.